Welcome to Tim's TV. We are at the 2nd Precinct in Minneapolis. This police station has barricaded themselves. The statue are cops throughout North Minneapolis history supporting the community, holding a little girl's hand. The reality is, in 2020, this is the 2nd Precinct. Minneapolis has a policing problem, has a police brutality problem, and has an issue with race that hasn't been dealt with. Now we have riots, and the mayor has decided to pull the police back behind these walls. I don't know how much good they're doing behind these walls. Also, right now they're debating defunding the Minneapolis Police Department. What that would mean would be a police pullout of Minneapolis. Minneapolis citizens would be on their own. You're robbed, deal with it yourself. There's a fire, the fire department ain't coming because there's no cops to protect them. Got a heart attack? Good luck. The ambulance isn't coming because they're not protected. You would have to protect yourself. This would be what the Europeans call a no-go zone. I have personally been the victim of police brutality in the city of Minneapolis. It wasn't these cops, it was the 4th Precinct across the river. But when I look at this, I'm scared for my city. I'm scared for my country because there's no protection. If the police are more worried about protecting themselves behind a barricade, they can't come to your defense, they can't come to my defense. That means, well, I have to defend myself. Also means that drug dealers, human traffickers are going to target Minneapolis because there's no one to arrest them. You can stand on a corner and sell yourself, and there's no cops to bust you. You can sell drugs. Who's going to bust you? They're back there. They're not out here. If you're raped, do you call them? Do you think they're going to help? They're too scared to come out behind their wall. The idea of having police means they're the gangs for the government. They're the gang for the people. Do they need to use force sometimes? Yes, but they need to use it when necessary. What happened on Lake Street wasn't necessary. It was murder. This is not necessary, and this is going to make Minneapolis and America a safer, more racist place. We need police. They need to be just. They need to not be racist, but race is always a factor in everything. Racism is a human problem, not an American problem. There's racism in Europe. World War II was a race war. The Aryans, which are a slice of the German population, thought they were going to take over all of Europe. They killed 20 million white people, but you never hear that in America because racism is portrayed as only an American problem. We need to look at what other countries do with their policing, and I'm pretty sure it's not this. So we need to look how other countries have solved similar problems and police ourselves like that, not like this. And to the mayor, who was shouted out of Minneapolis, shouted out of a protest yesterday because he wouldn't defund the police department for the first time in his mayoral candidacy, I kind of agreed with him because this doesn't make me feel safe. It doesn't make the other people of Minneapolis feel safe. That being said, we need a change in Minneapolis, and the police hiding behind this and being scared of conflict isn't it. That being said, police brutality and racism have to be addressed because what happened on Lake Street also can't be tolerated. They took too long to arrest them. If you came to my house, if the police showed up at my house and there was an unconscious woman handcuffed with my knee on her neck and no pulse, I would have been arrested that night. I guarantee it. They wouldn't need much probable cause with a dead body. So cops show up, cops kill somebody, maybe they should be arrested immediately. Maybe their blood should be taken. They should be taken into custody by other cops. Maybe the St. Paul cops should have came in and handled the arrest of the Minneapolis cop. How about every time somebody dies in police custody, a different police precinct or a different police organization handles the investigation and takes the cops into custody within 24 hours, if not immediately. That might have been different. In addition, if you're the mayor, this cop had 18 police brutality reports on him in 19 years. So he's doing one a year. Did the mayor investigate every one of them? Why does the mayor personally investigate every police brutality report and give the public an answer and do public hearings with the victims? That may resolve some of this stuff. If you have other ideas how to improve race relations and police relations, please let us know. In addition, I'm asking the President of the United States to do reconstruction, not just in Minneapolis, but in black communities all over America. Donald Trump, America's builder, he builds great buildings, beautiful buildings. We know that. I've heard him talk about it. Why doesn't Donald Trump come here to Minneapolis and begin rebuilding a second reconstruction? Rebuild Minneapolis, rebuild Detroit, rebuild Philly, rebuild parts of Chicago, rebuild Newark. We need reconstruction. We need the president to step forward and reconstruct America, starting with Lake Street. Don't forget about 8 Mile in Detroit. We need reconstruction. We have a builder as commander-in-chief. This is the time for President Trump to do what he does best. Build buildings, build back the black community, and do it starting here in Minneapolis. But don't forget about Detroit. Don't forget about Philly. Rebuild the black community and make it beautiful again. Make the black communities great again. Donald Trump, I know you can do this. This is what you were born to do. Rebuild black community. Rebuild black neighborhoods. Turn this tragedy into beautiful ceiling to floor windows for every black American. Turn the homeless problem around. Build them great housing. Build the black community. The most beautiful cities and communities and neighborhoods in the world. We have the money. You want to do infrastructure bill. Start with the infrastructure in the black community. Let's rebuild America together. More beautiful, more strong. Let's rebuild America together. My name is Tim Anderson. You're watching Tim's TV. I'm calling for the reconstruction of the black community, and I'm calling for it to be led by the greatest builder in American presidential history, Donald Trump. Donald, you can do this.